Well, it's a quiet Sunday morning in Pullman, Washington. Weston and I are in the middle of our Walla Walla wanderings, so I thought it might be a good time to give you a quick tour of the rig that we use to get around. This is our long-distance electric bike touring machine, designed specifically to go over great distances under electric assist, while comfortably pulling his trailer. It's built on a Soma Wolverine 58 centimeter adventure bike frame, all steel with the fork. I chose this because it was really the best combination of durability and relatively lightweight. Weight is not a huge concern, but because we are trying to pull every bit of power out of these batteries and me, we avoided gratuitous weight where we could. So the Wolverine was a nice compromise between the heavier mountain bike frames and obviously a road bike frame, which would be a little too weak. The steel means that we can basically fix it wherever. Hopefully, we had a dropout issue on this trip, and that worked out really nicely. We were able to straighten things a bit. For rims, we use the Sunringle Rhino Light. I've used these on other builds. They're bulletproof. These are 36 spoke with a Dior hub. And we have a 140 millimeter rotor brake on both front and rear, which gives us plenty of stopping power. This is Weston's single trailer made by a German company called Two Terrain. You may have seen it recently in Danny McCaskill's very funny video where he does a flip with it, which is amazing to us. The inside of the trailer sits him comfortably and has a little bit of storage underneath the seat that we use for the bag that the trailer goes into when we travel by air. It's actually got a suspension system, which is a godsend, which allows us to go over some pretty rutted dirt roads, and he's a lot more comfortable than I am. My general theory is that if it's not too bad for me up front without suspension, that it's generally comfy for him in the back. Do you like your trailer? Do you like your trailer? The trailer attaches to the seat post with a custom clamp that's took us a while to get used to. We had a few slow speed falls, but we've over the years gotten it dialed in pretty good, although it has to be balanced just perfect. We recently added the Ortlieb Super Pro Giant bags, which are a godsend, although they're relatively new, so we haven't put them through our full testing regime. The drivetrain is pretty stock Shimano. That's an 1136, which is a little low. If we lose the assist, then we don't have a lot of gears to bail out into, and if we have to go up a super steep hill, then it can be a fair amount of struggle. But a 10-speed does allow us to have quite a bit of coverage within the core range. If you can see it tucked in there between our repair kit and our Lecky chainring, we use the Bafang BBS HD retrofit Chinese-built, Chinese-sold 1500 watt max power motor. I have 4 of these on 4 different bikes. For anything beyond basic e-bike construction, especially when you want to control and be able to take apart and really understand your gear, this is the only option. While we don't use most of the power most of the time to preserve battery, the knowledge that it's there and the ability to use it when we have extra power, there's a steep hill, or especially from a standing stop, we do use that on a regular basis, even while conserving power. The ability to give it 1,000 watts from a stop sign is really nice, and it can be configured to use a lot less and put a cap on it if you want. We went full Revelate for the bags. We have a Revelate frame bag for the primary battery storage. The only thing we carry in there are tools and batteries. We have the 2 batteries in here that we use, taking up the full area, and it's absolutely perfect. We have a Revelate food bag where I keep extra battery and camera and gloves and things like that, and then a food stuff thing up here that is useful for snacks. With 2 batteries together, That actually provides over 100 miles of distance, depending on how you use it. We can be very aggressive, putting out 600-700 watts and blow through that in 60-70 miles. Or in most scenarios, we actually run it much lower, closer to 250, and that will give us up to 150 miles. We've started to approach. That requires very thoughtful usage and turning it off on the downhills and resisting the urge to use the power. But the fact that we can tour for 150 miles without charging is pretty. We run Strava on the phone, but we also run a GPS watch as both a backup and a real-time speed indicator. And then we use a Luna aftermarket display to control the speed. It gives us buttons right near our finger that are really convenient and shows us the exact voltage coming out. And it's a much smaller profile. I do carry an extra one of these in case something goes wrong. We have installed a horn and a light here that is more useful in the winter. We don't spend a lot of time in the dark, but it also allows us to be seen during the day if we want to turn it on. I used to think mirrors were goofy, but for our application, between watching the trailer, making sure he's happy, and sometimes if we're on a road where there's traffic, knowing there's a car coming gives us the confidence that we shouldn't be adjusting anything. We should be staying on the far right side of the road. So that's quite convenient.